get some tunes on because I don't think I had any on last time. And I'm okay with like the quietness, but I think some people probably like the quiet. I like this like psychedelic cyberpunk metal stuff that's going on. Um yeah, it's like progressive and also chill. Um so for the record, if anyone sees this stuff, I only watch chats on Kick. So I want to figure out, like, we're selecting a market, but then we're getting 8 is not a valid. So you can see here we selected a market at object. Whoa, 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 what did I do? This is why our logging system is so cool. That's why it's so great. But you can see here that we potential targets 3, returning none. So selecting new, no potential new targets to select from. So when we select new, let's go to selecting new. Let's fix that real quick because we can do that one really quick. Selecting new. If the pool size is 0 or the target pool size is 0. Don't we have a fill? Target pool self.fill. So let's put it like this. So let's go back where we do self home. See, home is a list of home. That doesn't make any sense. Great. Available food. So I don't think we're doing any of this. I don't know if we need any of that. Unit home. So what we're gonna do is say unit targets equals a list, and we're going to deconstruct homes and markets. We're just gonna throw them all in there. So every unit will have a pool of all of the targets. Yeah, and this is why we build functions like this, where we have a generic weave units, because instead of calling this thing in 2 different places, we just update the function once, and all of the code follows suit. So we shouldn't have... Okay, markets and homes exist for society. But a unit should not have homes or markets. It should just be self targets. So we could just get a random target. So 8 is still not a valid move action, but that's not what we were looking at. We were looking back at our log, so let's run it for a bit. Let's close it. Selecting new. So when we call selecting new, so whenever we drop one, we should be selecting a new one. So if the Um, Target pool size. Target pool size. Why are we using this? Oh, so let's call this total targets. And then we will create a function instead that says length of targets, and then we will actually say self. We'll define update targets, and then we will simply fill our targets like such. So we should actually be having that done first. So for I in range of pool size. Okay. We just want to grab the first. I think that's right. I have no clue. Yes, you should have a total targets. Self targets equals none, and then self total targets equals 0. Okay. So let's see. Missing one positional argument. Target pool. Where is that at? Total targets, fill, pool size. So this is our pool size. So we can change this to say, oh, we can leave the pool. That's fine. I don't understand. Target fill requires. Oh, it's missing. It requires. Why does fill? Oh, it doesn't require a target pool, but it should, but it doesn't. Cool. That's not where we died. Level. I should just pass the string in here. I think this is where we like crashed though. So fill is, oh, because select new calls fill and fill calls select new. We're not gonna do all this crap. I don't know. We'll just do that. We'll just fail because that's fine. We're okay with failing. But now let's look at our targeting pool and see. Dead. Whole lot of dying going on. Targeting system. Okay, so we've got a market, we've got another market, we've got another market. Oh, these are our potential targets. Cool. No potential new targets to What we're gonna do, we're gonna say targets, and then we'll say pool size, pool, we're gonna have to say pool size, and then total targets. And what we can actually do is say we can do plus, and then we can do self total targets, and then we can do plus, and then we can put this on a new line, and then we can say pool size, and then we can say plus, and then we can say returning none, so we can like concatenate all these strings. There's different ways to do this too. No potential new targets to select from, and then here's our output. So there's all the targets. Total targets equals 0. Pool size is 3. We forgot to put a new line in here. Returning none. So what are we doing right before this? We're selecting new. We're performing the action drop second. So when we drop one, performing action, we should actually change this. Targeting system enabling encoder drop second. When we go to drop second, we return, we select a new one. So before we select anything that's new, somewhere we should be logging what unit is doing this. Like we should be logging all the way down the board. Total targets 0. Obviously that's not correct. Update targets. Do we call that anywhere? No, we don't. So how are we getting... Oh, we are populating the targets from the high level, so we don't need to even pass that here. I mean, we do need it here. Okay, we initialize the targeting system. When we first create the targeting system, it sets it to none. Then after... Oh, that's tricky. That's crazy that that even does that. So targets does not need to exist in the targeting system, even though I thought it did. It needs to actually exist at a higher level. At the azimuth level. We need to create that up here. Targets. And then that way, when we... So choose the best target. Do we actually do that anywhere? Okay, good. We do not use this, as this is a hack for skipping all of the logic. So this was for us to be able to test this thing at the very beginning. Like if we pop this in somewhere, it will choose the best target. We don't have to pass targets in anymore, so we could say self targets now. Yeah, that still runs. What we need to figure out is where this is useless. It could be useful. Besides simply updating the move action to the next step. So this actually coordinates. Coordinate. So we still need to add, like, we're missing a part here. There needs to be a step here when we select something that we take that target selection and then turn it into a target action. But the only way to do that is to look at where our next step is based on that target that we've selected. We're doing that somewhere else. I don't know if we want to move that here yet. But we need to figure out what we're doing with our targeting pool. So we have all of the targets. As soon as we populate, when we repopulate all of the targets, get all of the units, automatically get all of the potential markets and homes. We will change this eventually. We want to implement something that allows them to discover these things. So the concept, this is something I hate about other machine learning examples that I've seen, is that very often the parent will evolve and then the child will just start where the parent left off. And I don't want the child to start with the parent's experiences, but I do want the child to like at least start with their biases. And that probably sounds weird, but so I don't understand when we set the targets. So this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing wrong. Our targeting system has update targets, and we are applying these directly whenever we fuck, where are we doing this at? We're not even doing this anywhere. It's unit.targets. So it needs to be unit update targets function, and then it needs to shit fire, where is that at? There we go. So this way we actually update the length now. Takes one positional target, but two were given. How was it given two? This is sick, Rick. I don't understand. I really don't understand. So confused. So we call update targets. How about this? We say t total targets equals, and then we create this list, and then we update it that way. How is it still given 2? It's a sick riff, man. Whoever wrote this did a really good job. I feel like it's not turning it into a single type. I feel like it's like there's something going on here. We go to main, we run, we initialize our society. When we initialize the society, we weave the units. When we weave the units, we get the total markets and homes, and we combine them into total targets. I mean, do I have to like explicitly convert it to a list? That's stupid as shit. Targeting system fill takes 1 positional argument, but doesn't it take 2? Oh. Bro, I feel stupid as hell. The fill, I was looking at the update targets function, and it's the fill function. Let's go back to this. Let's just put this back the way we had it. We'll actually do that. We can pre-compute our value. Unwrap it once instead of every time. Cannot compare market to EGL engine learning targeting. That is a very valid observation. But you could, if we put a target inside of a cell type. But I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is that we return Let's see. Let's see, man. I'm tripping. There's so much things that we could do. Creating an ethics matrix, initializing targeting system. So as soon as we hit selecting new, we couldn't compare a market. So we were comparing a market here to a pool. The pool has a set of new targets. We could just leave it empty. Right. So if self.idx is greater than pool size, index IDX out of range for pool size. Haha, I always hate it whenever like programming you get bugs like this. It doesn't, why didn't it tell me what my index was? Like, we already know. We should be able to calculate that on the fly. We will say none. There's probably a better way to do that, but oh, not -1. We broke it. If self dot targets if length of self dot targets is 0, you can't do it like that. What the hell am I doing? It's self.targets plus 1 modulus the total target size. There we go. Cannot compare market to target. So where do we have, like, let's get rid of this target type. Target none. Oh, if we flush all, we get none. So we'll just say none. Do we even, like, what are we doing with this target type? See, a vector already has this, and a cell already has this, so there's, like, not really a need for this. Pool. It's nice to have, but I mean, we don't need this, so let's delete this target. And we can just call that system. Now what did we break? That's fine. That one too. I like these names better, but let's DGL engine learning network targeting system. That's fine as well. No module name DGL. We don't need a target anymore. Cool. We actually don't need that. We are doing stuff. We're not moving though. So like, what happens when we pursue? And then where do we do moving? This one's true. This one is false on initialization. Unit has, so we don't need it on the targeting system because the unit has it, but really it should be part of the azimuth. So we don't need it. When we move, we're gonna leave it running. As long as we're moving, we're gonna leave it running. If we've reached our target, then we're no longer moving. And we reset self magnitude to none. Reset magnitude so we don't gain infinite rewards. Target reached. Yeah, we should trigger that. So that is shit. Where are we at? This is where we give it a reward system. So our unit self reward. We need to define get reward. Define get reward. Orient act. If target reached, if self selected, what is target selection type equals our target selection type. If our target selection is instance of work, then we want to say self work. If it's instance of market, so if it's a market, if self state is broke, then we want to say self work. If then we return define get reward. We kind of do this in the work and eat phases, but we also need to calculate the given reward back to the RL system. So we need to like back propagate. Pass, and then if is instance of home and we're tired, then we're gonna sleep. Okay, cool. So the get reward function, oh, we have it twice. Orient, act, and get reward. So coincidence performs an action, triggers an encoder event based on the ML or randomness of the system. Based on the ML state or randomness of the decision. Okay. And then orient figures out where the target is and updates the direction. So this should go in the get reward function. But this really should be part of the azimuth. Determines if we have reached the target and handles state full updates if so. What does the act function do? If we are moving or have reached our target, we want to choose the appropriate function. Yeah, so this is kind of interesting. We could actually map this thing out. Has no action move. So we are actually updating the azimuth now. Crazy. Action, so it's moving. If self-target reached, if this instance self target selection is a home and self state equals hungry. There we go. Broke. Then working. Trading. So we automatically just determine the action here. So update azimuth unwraps a target action into a directional vector. We could combine this logic. We're actually doing this in multiple places. We could combine this logic, and this is why it's important to graph out code as well. Update azimuth unwraps a target action into a tuple and updates the action value based on the world conditions. So that's why this is an azimuth. So unwraps a target action into the target direction tuple. Target action into the target direction tuple and updates the action value based on the stateful conditions. So if we have reached our target and we are at home and we are tired, else if it's a market, if the state equals state hungry, then we're eating. So to do this, we'll end up needing to be buying And then this will need to be selling. And then we need to learn to eat or take food home. So we're gonna keep adding state to this thing. Because the thing is, we're basically building a game. We're building mechanics to a system where all of these things can operate like society does. And then we're just telling it to do random things, and it appears to have emergent behavior. It appears like it's doing things and making decisions. But in fact, we've actually only told this thing, like, look, you can only operate within these bounds. And within these bounds of operation that I've given you, then I want you to explore your options. When you're calling a random function, you're not telling a program what to do. The program simply chooses random numbers. And then you're feeding that into something that's predefined. So there's no decision making. There's no learning. There's no even action. We're calling this thing an action, but really this is value. It's a literal, it's a number. If we go here, it's number 3. Like, all it's doing is picking number 3. It's not picking number 3. Now, when we add the neural network, we will be allowing this thing to choose how to strategically navigate this environment. Now this is no longer useless. I'm glad we've gotten rid of the parts where I have a bias in it, even though this is still some sort of bias. We know it needs to be random. Iterate through all selected groups of targets. Yeah, we're gonna leave those because those are decent commentaries. And then we need to learn yeah, so this line is useless. The interpreter will skip over it because of the comment there. It should. No module name for real life, of course. There we go. Lots of libraries. This is a huge engine that we built. Doom 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 doom. Didn't realize that the music was so loud. I know that metal is okay with a lot of people when it's chill, but no, it's overwhelming when there's when it's loud. I know I'm quite not unconventional, outside the box, brash, and even a bit too forward for some people's liking. I consider these my defining characteristics. I know I'm quite unconventional, outside the box, brash, and even a bit too forward for some people's. I say this as a warning to the contrarian nature of the topic following and the brutal verbiage used, the brutal honesty used to convey. Say this as a forewarning of the contrarian nature of the following topic. I wonder if an AI would learn to balance eating and fucking at the risk of death. It's what kick-started an entire project that I have been calling For Real Life. This is a sample of the type of work I am intending to do through Big Stick Studio around research and around this specific example is more of a personal pet project, but nevertheless raises a valid question.